Hello and a warm welcome to TBC News, our top stories. Native language and its position in modern times. DMDP Phase 2 execution underway.
Improving mobility for over 3.5 million people.
Good evening, I'm Chedi Mparinyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TBConline and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and X pages at TBConline. Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango calls on the participants of the African Languages Conference 2024 to focus on planning strategies to position better Kiswahili and other African native languages in the digital economy to enable locals to fully participate in the sector. The Vice President made the call in Dar es Salaam during the opening of the International Conference on the Role of Native Languages in Economic Development and Cultural Diplomacy.
Kongamano hili.
This conference is based on a very important area in development of the African continent in order to promote development and economic democracy. I would like to see this conference focusing more on the fourth industrial revolution, which has digital operation. This conference also should focus on planning strategies which will ensure the Kiswahili language and the other native languages have opportunities in the digital economy.
Furthermore, the Vice President says Tanzania prioritizes the advancement of the Kiswahili language, where it aims to make the language to continue to unify people in Africa and bring about peace and tolerance throughout Africa.
Na kukua kwa miji.
Increase the number of young people and the growth of cities has brought the challenges of unemployment that makes young people find ways to deal with it. Therefore, I ask that this conference helps in showing the opportunities that exist in the use of native languages to enable young people to gain knowledge in various ways to prepare for major changes in the economic transformations.
The conference, which is organized by Dar es Salaam University in collaboration with KwaZulu-Natal Universities of Africa, is attended by the former president of Mozambique, Joaquim Chissano, former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, diplomats, policymakers, businessmen and industrialists, religious leaders, academicians and heads of research institutions, youth, women and representatives of various civil organizations. The government of Tanzania and the World Bank have signed an agreement to start the implementation of the second phase Metropolitan Development Project in the Dar es Salaam region, which will cost more than 988 billion shillings, targeting to improve the city outlook and reduce congestion and flooding. Speaking immediately after the signing of the contract, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, says the project aims to improve road infrastructures, bridges and drainage systems for the objective of improving urban services and institutional capacity in the Dar es Salaam metropolitan area.
It includes the construction of road network to reduce congestion and strengthen drainage ditches, along with reducing the effects of floods in market structures and providing opportunities for commercial activities while improving the economy.
On the other hand, the Minister of State, President Office, Local Government and Regional Administration says the first phase of the project was successful in building 207 kilometers of roads and that this phase will involve the construction of 250 kilometers, 18 modern markets, 9 bus stations and 90 kilometers long drainage systems.
This project aims at improving the road infrastructure as well as remove the challenges of solid waste management for the city of Dar es Salaam.
As the World Bank, we are very proud to support the growth of Dar es Salaam. Over the past 15 years, the World Bank has committed $1.5 billion in financing to the development of Dar es Salaam. An important example of the impact of these investments can be seen in the current $300 million Dar es Salaam Metropolitan Development Project, which closed earlier this year. This project constructed over 207 kilometers of roads, 4 bus stands, improving mobility for over 3.5 million people. It also constructed 75 kilometers of drainage and 3 detention ponds, reducing floods for people living in over 400 hectares of land-prone, of flood-prone land.
These
funds that we are going to get are going to build 250 kilometers road in the city of Dar es Salaam, bridges, markets, as well as rainwater management structures.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy, Dr. Doto Biteko, says that the government continues to explore new sources for power generation to meet the country's needs. Speaking in the Mbeya region, Dr. Biteko says that the current 2 main power generating sources of electricity do not meet the country's needs. Here's a report by Adolfo Mbata, read by Kanki Mwegomole.
Visit of the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy, Dr. Doto Biteko, to the Mbeya region. And here he starts with visiting to the Geomorpho project in the village of Iramba, the Kiejo project that produces 60 megawatts, and the Ngosi project of 70 megawatts, which are expected to reduce the power shortage in the country. Speaking to the workers of the Geomorpho Development Company, Dr. Biteko directs them to execute their duties with results.
What you should be proud of as young director is to bring change. You should leave your own legacy that during your era, you were able to provide for your people reliable electricity from GFM.
He insists the government is keen to see Tanzanians receive better services in all sectors, especially ending the frequent power cuts.
Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan anakerwa na kukatika kwa umeme. Dr. Samia Suluhu and I are not pleased with electricity outage. Today, as we speak, we have huge demand of power comparing to what we produce. We need to produce more while thanking God for this dam.
On the other hand, the TGDC General Manager, Engineer Matthew Mwangomba, says that the company has 5 priority projects which will be implemented in phases, and the first phase is expected to generate 30 megawatts.
We expect to produce 10 megawatts in the first phase. We shall produce more later. This project aims to strengthen the safety of electricity resulting from multiple sources and also friendly to environment. There is another source in Ngozi which is better than this. I assure you that we will continue protecting the environment so as ground heat benefits us until we put to an end all the power cuts in the country.
The government of Tanzania has reached an agreement with Egypt for the construction of a more than 1,600 kilometers strategic road network from the border of Tanzania and Zambia to the border of Tanzania and Kenya, targeting to boost economic growth. Speaking during the meeting with the officials of the Ministry of Works and its institutions, the Minister of Transport of Egypt, Lieutenant General Engineer Kamel Al-Wazir, says that the visit aims to explore investment opportunities in the transportation, education, and infrastructure sectors.
We have come to look for the opportunity for investment in transportation, education, roads, and infrastructure. Today, I had the opportunity to speak with the minister, and all that project will be connected together in Tanzania, include the main roads that will connect Cairo in Egypt and Cape Town in South Africa with the paths of more than 10 African countries.
On the other hand, during the meeting, the Minister of Works, Innocent Bashungwa, identifies the construction of the road on the Tanzanian side, which includes the entire road from Cairo in Egypt to Cape Town, South Africa.
As we discussed during our tete-a-tete, Tanzania is a gateway for our beautiful African continent. Tanzania is a member of the East African community, but we are also a member of the SADC. If you take these 2 economic blocks, you have covered a big part of the continent. But also Tanzania and Egypt, we can explore opportunities in the infrastructure gaps and improved and see how we can contribute to see improved connectivity on the African continent.
Furthermore, during the meeting, the Minister of Works gives a directive to the Tanzania National Roads Agency, TANROADS, to ensure that the contracts for all road construction projects include a requirement for the contractor to include newly generated engineers to enable them to acquire skills and grow to full and experienced local engineers. Public institutions that feed more than 100 people per day from 6 ministries have implemented the government's directive to move from the use of food and charcoal to the use of clean energy for cooking. The Ministry of Education, Science and Technology and its institutions has been a champion in implementing the directive by more than 85%. Here are more details. The government has provided 31 billion shillings to boost the power infrastructure in the Temeke municipality to ensure reliable electricity for the residents of the district. The revelation has been made by the Temeke Region TANESCO manager, Engineer Ezekiel Mashole, during the visit of the Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner, Albert Chalamila, insisting that the completion of the project will eliminate the problem of power outrages in the district. Here's the report by Gervas Motabella, read by Mario Mobir.
It is the second day of the Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner's visit to the Temeke municipality, and today he is visiting the power transmission infrastructure from the Ilala station to Kurasini. The increase in the demand for electricity and the deterioration of the infrastructure are said to cause the power rationing to the people of Temeke, Mbagala and Kurasini. However, Engineer Ezekiel Mashole, TANESCO Regional Manager, says that after rectifying the infrastructure to its full capacity, the problem will be eliminated.
We have introduced 2 massive projects which are both financed by Government of United Republic of Tanzania. The aim of this project is to enrapture electricity from the Ilala Electric Cooling Station and transmitting to the Kurasini Electric Cooling Station. The infrastructures which are pressed by the contractor will be able to reduce electric congestion and therefore get reliable electricity.
Regarding the project, some of the government leaders and political representatives remain optimistic. The president has already provided funding, of which until March this year we'll be able to get reliable electricity.
The president has already provided funding, of which until March of this year we'll be able to get reliable electricity.
Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner Albert Chalamila urges the people to remain calm while the government is working on the power challenge.
And this cable has a capacity of 100 megawatts. That means it has 6.8 kilometers, which will be able to deliver electricity to different areas. It will help the enrapture of electricity in huge congested areas of kilowatts 132.
The construction of the power infrastructure is expected to be completed at the end of March this year.
The Deputy Minister for Industry and Trade, Exaud Kigahe, says Tanzania and Egypt have forged investment cooperation in various sectors, including agriculture, minerals and tourism, whereby the goal is to ensure that Tanzania reduces the volume of importation by ensuring that most of the foreign investments are established with the purpose of manufacturing products in the country in order to reduce trade imbalance and increase foreign export. Speaking at the Tanzania-Egypt Investment Forum held in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania Kigahe further elaborated how the bilateral ties between the two countries will be of mutual benefit.
Our institutions and people are well prepared to welcome the expected flow of investments that will come out of this forum and other initiatives that we spearhead and championed at various occasions by our respected, our beloved President, Honorable Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan.
Furthermore, the Executive Director of the Tanzania Investment Center, TIC, Jalet Terry, elaborated the sectors in which Egypt and Tanzania have been partnering in, while the chairman of Egyptian Industries, Dr. Sharif El-Gabali, says the Egyptian delegation sees a huge potential for investment growth in Tanzania and vows to utilize these important opportunities in various sectors.
Very a growing partner to Tanzania's economy in different areas. One is the manufacturing sector, for example, manufacturing of electric equipment, including transformers, copper wires, and the rest of it, but also in other areas like construction, fast-moving consumer goods, pharmaceuticals, and the rest of it. So today, the opportunity here is for the Egyptian business people to meet their counterpart in Tanzania and trying to figure out which areas they can jointly invest in.
We have visited several, we have met with several ministers, and I think there's a great opportunity for us to grow here in Tanzania. And already, as you well know, that Egypt has presence with in building the Julius Nyerere Dam, with the Sweden and our contractors. And Sweden also has a big factory here for cables.
10 Egyptian companies and 50 Tanzanian companies have attended the Tanzania-Egypt Investment Forum. And moving on to the next story, the Kigamboni District Commissioner Halima Bulembo has started a 4-day state visit in the district to meet and hear various concerns from fishermen in the district and explore the best solutions. Kanki Magomola was part of the first day and has prepared the following report.
Speaking to fishermen from Pemba, Mnazi and Kimbiji, the Kigamboni District Commissioner Halima Bulembo emphasizes to the fishermen on the importance of having a fishing business license, insisting that the license is the one that legalizes their businesses and boosts credibility.
I urge every fisherman to have a fishing license. Any business with a license is credible and legal, but many do not have the fishing license, and it's not even expensive to own one. But without the license, are costing the government revenues.
At the same time, Bulembo urges the fisheries offices to provide fishing education, as it has been found out that many fishermen do not have fishing education, which leads to unlawful and reckless fishing.
By next week, these fishermen should be trained on proper ways of conserving the environment. Even if it happens, they get an emergency on the middle of the ocean. They are aware and prepared.
During the tour, Halima Bulembo condemns illegal fishing, which is still being practiced in the district, which continues to destroy the environment as well as endangering the health of the community while continuing to threaten the marine ecosystems.
Tuache kufanya uvuvi haramu.
Let's stop illegal fishing at once. The government will not turn a blind eye to anyone doing illegal fishing, because illegal fishing has consequences not only to us, but also to the ecosystems.
The district commissioner expects to conclude with her visit on Friday this week, where she will visit Kamangila, Mjimemwa, Kigamboni, and Magogoni fishing areas.
Before we wind up the local news tonight, let us now have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Stay tuned for all the latest in international news. International news compiled and read by Nyambona Masamba.
Guinea's military junta, which seized power in a coup in September 2021, has dissolved the government. The announcement was made through a presidential decree read on state television on Monday by the President's Secretary General, Brigadier General Amara Kamara. Kamara did not disclose the reason for the dissolution or say when a new government will be put in place. Ministers in the dissolved government were ordered to surrender their passport and official vehicles. Their bank accounts have been additionally been frozen. The junta also instructed security agencies to seal all the country's borders until government ministries have been full-handed over to the junta. In September 2021, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya led Guinea's armed forces to overthrow elected President Alpha Condé after a series of protests over Condé's controversial bid for a third term. Guinea is expected to hold election to restore democratic rule in 10 months when the 24-month transition period set by the junta and ECOWAS expires. 15 out of the 20 candidates approved to contest in the delayed presidential election in Senegal have united in a call for the vote to be conducted no later than April this year. Coinciding with the end of President Macky Sall's term, the candidates emphasized the importance of adhering to the electoral schedule and insisted that the candidate list should remain unchanged. President Sall's proposal to postpone the election for several months to solve disputes over candidates' eligibility faced a setback when the country's highest court deemed delays unconstitutional. In response, Sall expressed his commitment to organize the elections as soon as possible. A zookeeper at a Nigerian university has been killed by one of the lions he had been looking after for close to a decade. A statement issued by the university said that Olabode Olawuyi, who was in charge of the zoo at Obafemi Awolowo University, was attacked as he was feeding the lions. His colleagues were unable to save him as one of the lions had already fatally wounded. The lion has since been put down.
And that was international news compiled by Dorothy Mari and read to you by Rehema Sababili. Sport news up next. Sports news, President Samia Suluhu Hassan has congratulated the Tanzanian acrobatic group, the Ramadan Brothers, for their win in the American Got Talent Fantasy League. In a congratulatory message, President Samia says their victory is a reflection of hard-working spirit, discipline, and dedication which have eventually paid off. And the Minister in charge of Sports and Culture, Dr. Damas Ndumbaro, says the victory of the Ramadan Brothers have brought glory to the duo and to the nation.
Tunaungana na Mheshimiwa Rais Daktari Samia Suluhu Hassan katika kuwapongeza vijana hawa.
We are joined with the President Samia Suluhu Hassan to congratulate for their championship. It's an honor for the country. Bravo, Ramadani Brothers. And we plan to make good welcome ceremony for them. And we need to ensure they become mentor for Tanzanians, especially on performing well and bring honor for the country.
Walimu kwa vijana wengine wa Kitanzania katika kufanya vizuri katika anga za kimataifa.
Tanzanian acrobatic group consisting of two stuntmen, Fadhili Ramadhani and Ibrahim Jobu, emerged as winners of the American Got Talent Fantasy League World Champions on Monday night, leaving them with a prize sum of $250,000 equivalent to 636.2 million Tanzanian shillings. And on to the next sports news. Benjamin Mkapa Stadium manager Milinde Mahona says all the important preparations for the Young Africans game of CAF African Champions League against CR Belouizdad have been completed and their stadium is ready for the match. Mahona insists that the preparations to do match the level of the game.
Until now, the field is ready for the game, and all important areas have been worked well. We are waiting for the show on Saturday.
Yanga will go to the match to continue with the campaign to find a ticket for the quarterfinals of the Champions League, while the team already has 5 points so far in the Group D from the 4 games that the club has played. And that was sports news. And now, before we conclude the news bulletin, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello and welcome again to the next 24 hours of forecast starting tonight at 9 p.m. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, my name is Ramadan Omari. Wind is expected to flow at 30 kilometers per hour over the entire coast, and the state of the sea is expected to be moderate. Over Lake Victoria and Lake Nyasa, wind speed is expected to reach 20 kilometers per hour, while over Lake Tanganyika, wind speed is expected to reach 10 kilometers per hour. And tonight in Kagera, Geita, Mwanza, Shinyanga, Central, West, Southwestern Highland, Morogoro, Ruvuma, and the Southern Coast, we are expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over a few areas. While over Mara and the Simiyu regions, we are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, thunderstorms over a few areas. Dar es Salaam and the Pwani regions, we are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, rain showers over a few areas. Over Northeastern Highland, Tanga, together with Unguja and the Pemba Island, we are expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, light rain showers over a few areas. And tomorrow, areas, especially in Kagera, Geita, Mwanza, Shinyanga, Central areas, West, Southwestern Highland, Morogoro, Ruvuma, and the Southern Coast, we are expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over a few areas and sun period. While over Mara and the Simiyu regions, we are expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, thunderstorms over a few areas and sun period. Over Dar es Salaam and the Pwani regions, we are expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, rain showers over a few areas and sun periods. Over Northeastern Highland, Tanga, together with Unguja and the Pemba Island, we are expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, light rain showers over a few areas and sun periods. And now, let's have a look on the next 4 days of forecast over some regions of our country. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. I am Cheri Mparinyanga. Have a lovely, lovely night.